Here he comes. He's kind of jogging across the parking lot. He gets to the car, and Rick says John's face was as white as a sheet, and he was kind of shaking and trembling. And Rick asked him, "What's happened? What's the matter?" And he actually said, "It's kind of cliche, but he really did say, you look like you've seen a ghost." And John just kind of started to slowly nod and goes, "I did." Hello, readers, writers, and all-around book lovers. Welcome to another exciting and educational episode of The Writing Lair. My name is Brady Longmore. I'm an independently published author. I currently have 4 books in publication, and I am getting ready to publish. Well, I'm working on number 5. Hopefully I'll be publishing number 5 soon. This is The Writing Lair, where I like to talk about reading, writing, and I like to talk about the scary stuff, mysteries, dark, mysterious, Bigfoot, UFOs, ghosts, anything like that, legends and myths. So I like to sprinkle a little bit of that into my channel as well, and all through kind of focused through the lens of independent publishing for authors and that kind of thing. So if that sounds like it might be up your alley, then we are probably kindred spirits, and I invite you at this time, please like and subscribe and help out a struggling, starving artist. I know I don't look very starving, do I? But anyway, you can help out a struggling artist anyway. Like and subscribe. And so moving on with this episode, and if you're already a subscriber, thank you for your support and welcome back. This episode is going to be, I'm going to tell you a scary true story. As I like to do once in a while, I like to insert a little scary story in there. This is a favorite of mine. It was told to me years ago by a coworker. We were just talking ghosts and stuff one night, and he told me that he used to work. Sorry about that. So here in Idaho Falls, where I live, nearby, there used to be a restaurant called JB's Big Boy. Yeah, it's a family restaurant, with kind of like a Perkins, I guess, would be the best way to describe it. Pretty popular little restaurant here in this neck of the woods, and I'll call him Rick, this coworker friend of mine. Rick used to work at JB's as a busboy back in the early to mid 80s, I'm guessing this story takes place. And when he was working there, and as he was at that time, there was this really popular waitress that worked there too, and her name, I will call her Linda. I'm protecting the names of the innocent here. Her name was Linda, and she was really outgoing, really bubbly. Everyone liked Linda. She was a fun person to work with, seemed to have a lot of energy, and she was just a pleasure and a joy to work with. And, she was kind of like a staple of the restaurant, very popular personality amongst patrons and workers. Anyway, Linda got sick. She kind of had this illness. She wasn't feeling well. She went to the doctor, and it's a sad story. She found out she got diagnosed with she was in the final stages of some very aggressive cancer. I don't know the details of the sickness. And it's been over 20 years since I've heard this story, but some kind of really rapidly, a really aggressive cancer that was growing rapidly through her body, and she passed away very quickly after that, and very suddenly, and it was a big shock to everybody in the restaurant. No one could believe it, because she was such a light and just such a ball of energy and happiness, and now poof, she was gone just like that. It was very sudden and very unexpected, and so The restaurant where the workers and everyone that knew her was kind of reeling in shock over this. And Rick says that the funeral came and the services were over, and everyone just picked up the pieces and tried to move on with life. And I'm not sure how long it had been. I'm gonna say a few days, maybe a week or something after her funeral. Rick was working late and helping the manager close. We'll call the manager John. And they had driven out together, and the two of them were closing up and cleaning and doing the final. Everyone else had gone home, and so it was just Rick and John. And they were done. They locked up the restaurant, and they went back to... we went out to John's car, because John drove. And they got in the car, and Rick says that John started patting himself and said, "Oh man, I left my cigarettes in there. I know right where they are. They're on the counter or some place." So he'd left his cigarettes, and he says, I'll be right back. I'll just go get them real quick. I'll be right back. And Rick said he was gone for kind of a while, and he was to the point where Rick was starting to worry about him, like wondering, should I go get him? Where is John? And about that time, here he comes. He's kind of jogging across the parking lot. He gets to the car, and Rick says John's face was as white as a sheet, and he was kind of shaking and trembling. And Rick asked him, "What's happened? What's the matter?" And he actually said, it's kind of cliche, but he really did say, "You look like you've seen a ghost." And John just kind of started to slowly nod and goes, "I did." And so here's the story. So John proceeds to tell this story to Rick. So what happened to John? He went in there and he found his cigarettes, and he was just going to grab them and leave. But as he was getting ready to leave, he heard this crash coming from the kitchen area. He said it sounded like someone had just tipped over a big old stack of plates and trays onto the tile floor. And he heard this loud crash, and he could even hear some of the plates, how a plate will oscillate, kind of like that, on a floor, that kind of sound. I hope I did a good job with the sound effect there. But he could even hear that. And so very, not his imagination, detailed sound, crash, plates, fragments of broken glass skidding across the floor. And he thought, dang, there's a thief in here. Some guy's been hiding in the restroom or hid somewhere, and he's waiting for us to lock up and leave, and now he's trying to rob the place. And he thought, I'm going to catch him. So feeling more angry than scared, he took off for the kitchen. And the kitchen had those doors, that restaurants have, the double doors that on two-way hinges that will swing kind of like a saloon in the Old West. Boom, boom. So the waitresses can go in and out of the doors, without using a handle or anything. And they got little porthole shaped kind of windows, that kind of door. So there was, I guess, one on each side. I think, but I'm not sure. But there was two ways into this kitchen where he'd heard the noise. And he ran in there, and he bolted in there, and he expected to see a mess. And there was nothing. The floors were clean. The plates that were stacked were, everything was in place. There was nothing there. No mess. And he thought, am I losing my mind? What did I hear? And just as he's thinking that, those double hinged doors across the kitchen from him on the other side, he heard the boom, like someone had gone through them, and then he looked up, and the doors were just kind of going, boot, doo, 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 doo. Like someone had just gone through, and he saw the doors just coming to a stop from their motion of someone going through. And he thought, oh, the thief ran through those doors. I don't know how I didn't see him, because I'm right here. How did he do that? So he ran and opened the doors, and he's getting ready to chase down a thief. But when he opened the doors, standing, or not standing, but walking away from him was Linda. He could see her from the back, and he recognized her immediately. That's Linda. And she was walking down kind of this pathway that would take you out into the dining area along a wall. And he just froze. And he watched her just calmly walk away from him, and then turn the corner to go down into the dining room. And as she turned, she just she was gone. And when he got his wits about him, he ran and looked, and there was no one there. And he knows anyway, that's his story. That's what he saw. And he told Rick, he said she looked every bit as substantial and real as if she was really there. She wasn't all like, see-through-ish or whatever, how people see ghosts. She looked real. She looked substantial. She was wearing her waitress uniform and just walked. Anyway, that's my scary true story told to me by my friend Rick. I used to eat at that restaurant even after I'd heard this story. The restaurant's gone now. They tore it down. There's actually an Olive Garden there now. But before they tore JB's down, I remember I went there once in a while. You had a good breakfast buffet actually, and I would stop there sometimes on the way home from working night shift, and I would be there, and I always kind of would remember that story, and I would look around, and I just kind of wonder, is she still here? Is there a part of her, at night when the restaurant's closed down and everything gets quiet and there's no one in the place? Does those doors bump open, and is this Linda still kind of walking around in the restaurant at night? I don't know. I guess we'll never know now because it's gone. But anyway, that's my true haunting in Idaho Falls ghost story, and it was told to me by my friend Rick over 20 years ago, and I've always remembered it. So there's your true, there's your true ghost story, your dose of scary for you for this week. And let's see if I have time to give you a little update. Yes, video hasn't been going too long. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Do you remember JB's? Has anyone else heard this story? Because I don't know if anyone else had ever experienced anything there. Anyone watching this ever used to work there and have a strange experience in that restaurant? I wonder. I've always kind of wondered. So let me know in the comments if you have or know anything or have any information about it. I'd love to hear anything anyone would have to add to that. I think it's a cool story, and I don't know what to think about it, but anyway, things with me are going good. If you follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, you'll see that this week I actually reached my word count goal for my manuscript I'm working on so far. So when I first started out this story a year ago, I told myself, let's try to get it about 150,000 words. And just for reference, The Summoning, my first book, my first horror novel, The Summoning, was about 206,000 words. And I thought, let's try to keep this one down to about 150. Well, so far, that's a fail because I'm at 150 and I'm not done writing it yet. But I am happy to reach that milestone, 150,000 words. That means I'm at the end. I'm gliding towards the finish line, and getting towards the ending. And so that's a big milestone for me. So I just hit that milestone with the new book coming out, and so that's where I'm at with the writing. And I don't know. What else to tell you guys? This episode, I thanks for joining, thanks for watching, and if you liked this episode and you haven't subscribed yet, let me once again implore you to like and subscribe. Help me out. Help me grow this channel. See if I can make something out of it. I do enjoy doing these videos, but I'd like to, I'd like to see some growth. But slowly but surely, as seems to be the way things go in this world for me, as far as the writing world, slowly and surely, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. So, okay, guys. I got to point out, I almost signed off premature. Check out my 1-minute book reviews. So if you haven't noticed yet, I'm not leaving book reviews anymore at the end of these videos. Instead, I'm doing separate videos. I'm calling them 1-minute book reviews, and I've got 2 out so far. So check them out. They're on this channel. They're in my list of videos, and they're only 1 minute long. And you would actually be surprised how hard it is to crank out a book review in 1 minute. But that's kind of what I'm trying. I might have to change it to 2-minute book reviews. But so far, so good. So I've got two of those out so far. I want to keep just doing those and see if I can make something of that. So check out my 1-minute book reviews on this YouTube channel. Again, like and subscribe. Thanks for joining, guys. I appreciate all the support and encouragement. I'm constantly getting great support and encouragement from everybody. And I promise the next book, I'm working on it. It's coming out. I can't give you a date yet. I wanted it out by Halloween. I don't know if it's going to happen by Halloween now. But, I'm working on it. And we should get something out relatively soon. So anyway, again, thanks, guys. That's going to do it for today. Again, like and subscribe. And until we meet again, I wish you all happy reading.